Hey, it's Ben, and this is Drambo by BeepStreet. In this video, I'm going to walk through how to use the feedback receive and feedback send modules. I know this has already been covered in some other tutorial videos, but I'll talk through about some different ways that I'm having fun using them. So the feedback send and receive modules allows you to send signal backwards or from the left to the right. The feedback send modules are both under miscellaneous utility, and you would normally use them in a pair. Essentially, all it allows you to do is take a signal that goes into the send and tell Drambo to send it back to a receive module. So this is kind of like it just feels a little bit weird. You're choosing an output, kind of. So feedback receive doesn't look like an output, but it really is. And you're telling it to send it back to feedback receive's input. And you're not going to hear anything here. But what that's going to let us do, it's going to allow us to do a lot of things. Here, it's allowing us to create a delay that's polyphonic. So it's actually 8 delays working together, processing 8 voices, because I have my polyphony set to 8. Well, who really cares if it's 1 voice or 8 voices? That means that you can do polyphonic modulation on those voices and on the delay. So on this effect, it's randomly chosen delay times per voice. So I can play a chord, and there each voice is going to be a randomly selected delay time. And that it's just kind of like a little bit of organic sounding, and if I turn it all the way up, it's almost like a weird looper. Turn that down a little bit. Turn it down a little bit, maybe. And I really like how chords like spread out when you do that. Turn it up a little bit. So they start together and then they slowly kind of dissipate, spread out. Not too slowly. Yeah, so it like slowly kind of smears a little bit. I don't know. I think there's a lot of cool potential just with polyphonic modulated delays. And then, of course, there's other things that you could do. So let's we'll start from scratch. I'm going to build a simple synthesizer, and what I'd like to do is take advantage of that polyphonic delay and mess with envelopes. So I just want a VCA and an oscillator and a filter. Okay, so what I'd like to do is create a modulator, an envelope, and I'll just have that modulate the cutoff. So, previously what I might have wanted to do is delay the envelope with a rack, and then have that delayed envelope with feedback modulating the cutoff. And it'll work when it's in one voice. What I have to do is here. So it'll work. I have more feedback on that envelope. But if I'm doing this polyphonically, basically the delay rack only processes a mono signal. So one voice is going to have that modulation. But they're not all going to have it. So some of them have it, some of them don't. Okay. I was trying to hear it. I thought it'd be a little bit more pronounced. But what I can do is build a simple little delay. So all I need to do is go to my miscellaneous utility, throw in a feedback receive and a feedback send, and then what I need is a mixer, because I need to get both my actual input and the feedback receive. And I need to tell feedback send to send the signal back to the receive module. And now I can mess with my delay time. It's going to go up to 1 second if you're using time sync, or if you're using any of the divisions, it'll go up to 16. However, you can also extend that time with just a regular delay. So you can have 2 seconds, you can have 5 seconds, whatever. Just chain these all together, and it'll be fine. So now let's modulate using the mixer. So you're going to hear that first envelope, and then it'll delay after 2 seconds. So let's really crank up my release. And we could mess with these a little bit. If we wanted to, we could modulate it with random. Bring this down too. So now it's really a polyphonic delay, and I'm getting that cool, not just delaying the sound, but I'm delaying an envelope that then kind of slowly dissipates over time. And then it's randomly modulated too. So you can build regular delays easily, and they're polyphonic now. And you can make them as long as you want by using an actual delay module to extend the delay time in the feedback send. But you can also do a lot of other cool things. So now we can modulate maybe like the tuning of an oscillator by itself easily. It won't always sound amazing, but you can do it. Okay. So it gets kind of crazy quickly, but we're self-modulating. We can keep it in tune if we sync from another module. You can get really like dirty sound here easily. And then one really wild thing that you can do, let's change all of that. Okay, so what I've been having fun doing is self-syncing. So what we're going to do is we're sending the oscillator sound back to the receive, and then we're going to use oscillator sync over here by that feedback signal. And this sounds crazy. So here you just send a little click, but as soon as I mess with the tuning or delay time, it's going to get out of control. But it sounds awesome. Let's just like mess with the tuning a little bit. Now if it gets too out of control, just change it back to a triangle, because triangle doesn't do oscillator sync right now, and then we can kind of reset it. That's 8 voices too, so maybe that's why it sounds so wild. So you can just get these weird loops going. One of the beta testers, RS2000, said this sounds sort of like circuit bending. I don't know much about circuit bending, but it sounds right to me. And it's really like a delay line that you can hear, like changes that are made from the past, and they kind of come back, but it's not your typical delay line. It's a delay line through the sync, oscillator sync. It could just be fun, and of course you could add in something afterwards. So just sounds really, really wild. I don't know. I'm sure there's lots of other things that you can do with the feedback module, but that's what I've been playing around with. If you have any questions, probably just go over to the BeepStreet forum and ask there. A lot of the other users will be happy to answer your questions. I don't know that much about synthesis using feedback, but I'm sure you all will have a lot of fun with this.